So I'm at Zion National Park, been at the Grand Canyon, and we're here for a couple of days doing the Utah-Arizona workshop. And a lot has changed since, God, it just keeps changing. All the parks keep changing, adding new rules. There's the quintessential, done a million times, photograph of the Watchman from a bridge in Zion. Well, that is now off limits and illegal to walk on it, to stop on it, to be on it, or anything. It's got signs all over it. So that is now a non-starter. The other thing is that the shuttle service in the park, the hours that it runs, it doesn't get early enough or late enough for sunset until like another month from now. It's real close. And since you can't drive your car in the park during the summer, it's tram only, it makes it really, really difficult to photograph, inside the park. But that said, there is an epic location that is on the river, and it has the Watchman in the background, and I think it's better than that same old shot that everybody's done a million times. So if these shots, mosquitoes, a lot of mosquitoes, if these shots come out, I'll show them to you right now. As I've said before, it's really hard to vlog when you're doing a workshop. You're taking care of the participants and making sure everybody's getting good shots. And so right now, I'm just waiting to see if these clouds that have moved in over the Watchman, if they catch any color as that sun starts to set. Don't know if it will, but there's a front coming in tonight, so there's a chance. And if these high-level clouds above the Watchman catch color, it could be just stunning, absolutely stunning. So I totally think it's worth the wait. I've already got some great photographs of when the sun was coming across and was actually hitting the side of the Watchman. It was lighting it up gorgeous, really, really nice. So I've already got some really nice photographs in the bag that you saw. So now we're just hanging out, waiting for hopefully a little bit of light. And if it comes out, you'll get to see that too. Well, as you can see, it's dark, no light, so I'm headed back to the car. We're headed back, and tomorrow morning, hopefully we'll get a sunrise. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but hopefully it won't start raining until later in the day, and we'll be able to pull off a good morning shoot. Sunset the next day, so this morning and all day it's been raining a lot, so there was no sunrise at all this morning, and it's starting to break. Tomorrow should be really nice, fingers crossed. But I'm heading back to the same location I shot last night with the hopes of a little, I don't know if I'll get better light, but maybe the remnants of these storms that have come through could make some dramatic clouds over the Watchman. So I don't know if I'm going to get anything, but I know one thing for sure. If I stay in my hotel room, I won't get anything at all. So let's get out there. Got about an hour till sunset. Fingers crossed, we'll get something that's really cool over the Watchman. So hopefully this will show up on the video. The clouds have got some really nice shape and a little bit of darkness little bit of blue, a little bit of white where the light's catching those highlights of the clouds above the storm clouds. And there's patches of blue that are appearing on and off, you know, way up there, and everything's moving in this direction. So my hope is that we'll get some of that nice clouds, blue, white, gray, or just something really interesting over the Watchman there. So while we are waiting for light to happen or not, let's talk about the rules and the regulations that they're putting in place in parks all over. If you watch my Hawaii video for my workshop to Hawaii, a lot of the parks, not even just state parks or even lesser parks that weren't even a state park, were putting in reservation systems that were impossible to get. There was just no way. If you were to just go and want to spend a day or just get into that park to do anything, you wouldn't be able to unless you made a reservation months in advance. And because of the way that they reserve it, they release those reservations on a revolving time. You can't, like 7 or 8 months ahead of time, just grab, or a year ahead of time go, I know I'm going to be there, I'm going to go ahead and reserve. It's a specific time frame ahead of time that you're allowed to. They open up reservations a block at a time. And it makes it extremely difficult, even if you were to plan to be lucky enough to get a reservation, like going up to Haleakala for sunrise, or going out to one of the state parks in Hawaii for any time of day, or for hiking Angel's Landing. Angel's Landing here in Zion is now a permit-only system. The bridge that we used to shoot on all the time is now, it's illegal to walk across it, stand on it, be on it at all. It's just signs everywhere about do not do this, it's illegal. I understand why they're doing it, and I can see both sides, but it really, even for an individual, it's hard. But if you're taking a group of just a few people, or a bigger group, would be even worse, be impossible. But to take people around and show them places, it's becoming necessary to kind of go off the beaten path to find places that are not part of the Park Service. The Park Services all have no drone photography, so all of those people that adopted drones early on to fly drones and get amazing photos of the parks, it's been illegal for a while to do that. And again, I get them trying to preserve and protect, but is there a better answer, I guess is what I'm saying. Can the Park Services and the state parks do something that will preserve and protect the environment and still allow the people to enjoy their parks? And I don't know what the answer is. They're instituting a reservation system in the Columbia River Gorge back home. So Waterfall Alley in Portland, you're going to have a reservation to even get on that road to go down it. So it's like, is that the best answer? Is that the only answer? Or should it just be a free-for-all? I'd love to hear your comments below about what you think about the whole situation, because it changes so rapidly. There's no way, I mean, at least for me, it seems to have been changing very, very quickly. All of these different parks have just instituted this, instituted that. Just like the gorge back home, it starts up next month, and there hasn't been a whole lot of announcements on it unless you're really looking for it. So I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of vacationers that are going to come out to Portland, Pacific Northwest, wanting to go see Multnomah Falls and all of those amazing waterfalls in the gorge. They're going to be really sad after they sit in line for an hour to get to that little booth, and they're going to be told there's no reservations available, and they're going to have to turn around and go back to their hotel. So let me know your thoughts below. So let me know if you see the problem right off the bat with a composition like that. You see what it is, or at least what I see that I don't like? I don't like the fact that this tree is taller than my mountain, because it diminishes the mountain, which is my main thing, and this tree right there is actually taller. And that's simply because of the, obviously the height of the tree, the angle of my camera, and having to tilt it up just a little bit. Actually, it's pretty level, but because of the lens, I am at 35 millimeters or so, and even at 24 it just gets worse, and it makes that mountain even smaller. If I tilt down, it's going to stretch that mountain at the top a little bit, but it's also going to, it's a no-win scenario right here. So I'm going to move back, because if I move back, it's going to change the perspective, and it's going to bring that tree down so that it's not taller than the Watchman. Again, I am not seeing any magnificent light happen yet, but at least coming back again and again, I have more opportunities to study the area, study the composition, fix mistakes, fine-tune things, and then eventually when I come here, it may not be this time, or it might not even be the next time, but eventually I will hit the jackpot. I'll have magnificent light, it'll be amazing, and I will know exactly where to stand, and I'll have everything dialed in. So every time you go out, you learn a little something, and you fine-tune your skills, constantly fine-tuning your skills. So I'm gonna move back a little bit, maybe try to find something between where I was and where I am to get that tree underneath the mountain. In case you can't tell, it's raining. I need to get over there somehow. Hang on. There's nothing worse than being in the wrong place at the right time. When I looked to my right, I saw the sun was lighting up the storm clouds, and I could tell it was going to be fantastic. I literally grabbed my gear, ran up the hill through the bushes and trees, just making my own path, trying desperately to find a way to get closer to where the sky was lighting up. I knew the light was not going to last long, and I was rapidly running out of time to find some sort of composition. It's the worst possible predicament to be in as a landscape photographer. Gorgeous light, no composition, and very little time to find one. So I didn't have time to vlog me running like an idiot, through the bushes and over the hills to the light was kicking off in a big way behind me. And I had no idea on composition, no idea where I was just running towards where the light was good, trying to find a composition. And then it kicked off in a slightly different location, and then I was running again, and then I looked behind me and I saw that the Watchman was looking, it's just gorgeous. The light, the sun is just now set, so everything is just a very soft, diffused light. It's still brighter on one side because that's where the sun set, and it's darker, so there's a nice contrast on it. As you can see, this side over here is lighter than that side, so it's just gorgeous, even though the sky is not anything to write home about, because it's pretty gray over the top. But there's little clouds here, and as you look to where the way the sun was setting, you can see that there are more interesting clouds. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to make it all the way over to my main subject before it gets dark. But I'm probably going to stand here until it's just an absolute impossibility. I have no idea if any of the photographs I made while the light was kicking off, because by the time I actually got set up, it's not going to be a great composition. There was no time. The light was moving so quickly because the sun was setting, and it lasted maybe 2 minutes, maybe a minute, and that was after, including the time that I saw it and started moving to try to find a place to shoot it. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of wet, but it was great. Anyway, if any of the shots come out, I'll show them to you right now.